Okay. Number 5.
Number 5 is yet again a guy who's still competing this year, and it's Patrick Vellner. Vellner, I think more so. What?
This just shows that maybe your list actually has some validity. I was touting it as as the official list. I mean, this is it. This is, but I was concerned because of rumors that you're a fanboy that it would emotionally affect your list. But the fact that you have Vellner so low, and I know he's your butt buddy, is amazing.
So low, he's 5th, man.
I know, but if in Brian's world he put Vellner as number 1. He loves Vellner.
Well, I think that Vellner falls fate to the same thing as Fikowski here. He comes on the scene in 2016. He's one of the guys who did have a year of team experience prior to that. He gets to the games as an individual. In 2016, he takes 3rd and kind of did it very quietly. He didn't have any stand-up performances, didn't have any bad performances, winds up narrowly edging Brent for the podium that year. He comes back, he gets 3rd. 2017, robbed of the podium by the Ricky Garrard situation, so he didn't get to stand up there with Brent that year, but ultimately took 3rd. Comes back, has his best finish the following year, 2nd place behind Fraser. And then comes 2019, where he took a risk in event 1, and then he gets penalty in event 6, and then those two things in and of himself keep him out of the top 10 that year. He finishes 16th. And then last year, stage 1 of the games, he had a pulled groin. He finished 9th, 1 spot behind BKG, and still within 10 points of making the top 5. For his sake, it was actually better he didn't make the top 5 because he needed to rehab that groin. But the fact that his 4-rep max front squat 6 months later was more than his 1-rep max front squat at the games that year, and that event single-handedly kept him out. We know he would have been in the top 5 that year if he was healthy, and we can safely assume that he would have done a lot better than 16th in 2019 if able to finish the test. Because when you look at his sanctional performances in 2019 and 2020, check this out. 1st at Wodapalooza, 2nd at Rogue to Fraser, 2nd in Dubai to Fikowski, 1st at Wodapalooza, 1st at Rogue. Those are the 5 biggest competitions of the sanctional season. He won 3 of them and was 2nd to Fraser in 1 of them and 2 points behind Fikowski. I think it was 2 points at Dubai. It was really close. It came down to the last event. There's no one in the field at the games this year who's beaten him in a live competition since 2016 except for Fikowski. And I mean, all of these cases that I'm making and the fact that, yes, he is a friend of mine and he's been very generous to me, I could easily have put him as high as 3rd on this list. If he places even inside the top 3 this year at the games, I probably will move him up that high. But I think just like Brent, he needs to prove that even after these 2 years where their placements are probably not indicative of the relative fitness, that he can come back and without Fraser in the field this year say, no, I'm the guy to beat. And if he does that, I probably would put him all the way up to 3rd.
How often do you guys text each other?
I don't text athletes very often.
Huh.
He didn't answer the question, James.
But he just said you guys they're friends.
Someone just wrote, Brian, you got to stop stealing Wi-Fi from the local Burger King. Don't worry, Matt. We will produce a clean copy on YouTube. This will not be the final version, so if you want to go back and hear my jokes, you can, and they'll make sense. I will say this about Vellner, and this has none of the scientific intellect that Brian brings to it, but he has a very well-balanced composition as a human being of brain, intellect, and brawn. He has a very good attitude. He's clearly very smart. By good attitude, I mean attitude when you're at the games. He's very calm. It's lighthearted. He's also can turn it on and be intense. He's clearly smart when you communicate with him. He's well thought out, and he's strong as shit. So he probably has one of the best packages, I'd say.
Whoa.
Just a couple other things about him. This will be his 6th year competing as an individual, which will tie him with Bridges, and it's also Fikowski's 6th year. He's got a 2nd and 2/3. His average finish at the games, even with the last 2 years, is 6.6, and he's won 2 events with an asterisk. Could potentially be 3 events at the games. The events he won are kind of interesting. He won Chaos, which was that unknown event in 2018. He won the sprint obstacle course in 2017, which was a very athletically demanding event. And then he was 2nd to Ricky Garrard in the hay bale burpee workout, Madison triplet or triplus, whichever one that one was that year in 2017 as well. So he's got the potential to do well in events, but he doesn't have the same number of event wins as some of the other guys on this list, specifically ahead of him. So another thing that's maybe just holding him back a little bit.
And just so you know, ladies, he's not on the market, even though I gave him all those high rankings in all categories. I'm pretty sure he's taken.
You said he had a great package.
Yeah, he is a great package. His
Oh,
chick should
he
be
is. He is a great package.
He is. Yeah, he may have a great package. Honestly, I'm curious, but I don't. I have no data. No data.